Hi, I'm Wes the Explosion, this is the Backlog, and my PC is barely detecting the fact that I have a frickin' mic, so no video this week. Ordered a replacement PC though, so hopefully by next time we can get back to the normal format, but let's go. I played my working copy of Warriors, Legends of Troy this week. It's been a few episodes since I gave up on a game, but the next one to win that distinction is here. So here is me playing Hyrule Warriors. I was going to try to set up the game capture for the PS3, but this game was not worth it. It uses dull colors and boring character models, and it's just overall unpleasant to view. I'm really not sure how this happened, given that I love both Musou games and mythology, but Legends of Troy did it. I played through 2 chapters, got bored, and sat on it again, came back a few days later, got annoyed with chapter 3, put it down again, then came back, got annoyed again, went to change the difficulty setting so I could just rush through it, but had trouble doing that since I was mid-chapter. Figured that if I was already this miserable this early, it wasn't worth it, and so I just quit. This game somehow takes what should be a slam dunk, but somehow manages to screw it up at every turn. Normally, Dynasty Warrior games, especially the licensed titles, features a wide variety of colorful characters with unique combat moves. Here, there are 8, of which I got to play 3, Achilles, Odysseus, and Hector. Sure, Odysseus can use throwing knives, but all 3 are gritty looking buff men with swords and shields that just kinda swing them around. Maybe I just didn't get the combos down right, or maybe I just didn't unlock the flashier moves, but this felt more button mashy than any other Warriors game I've played, due to what seemed like very little attack variety. So yeah, you can swing a sword with 2 of the buttons, you can lock onto an enemy, you can use your shield, you can dodge roll but still get hurt doing it, and instead of a special attack, you can get big mad for a limited time to deal bigger hits and make blood splatter across the screen. Also, if you catch an enemy off balance, you can do a brutal insta-kill. Did I mention this game seems to be going for a more gritty realism? Probably why the characters are all muscly, armor-wearing guys and don't get to use the over-the-top attacks. From what my reading tells me, the team behind this wanted to appeal to a more Western audience, thus the Trojan War instead of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms setting, and the more brutal, bloodier combat with more realistic moves. In another timeline, I could see this working, but what seems to have happened here is that they just took a niche game series and took out all of the things that its fanbase loved. And ouch. Just ouch. Other than those changes I mentioned, there are a few more. Rather than walk into a base and take down enemies until you weaken it enough to bring out its guard, who you then take down to claim it, you have clusters of enemies, which you need to take out each and every single frickin' one of them to get rid of the red circle that represents them on the map. A lot of the character models look the same and it can be hard to tell your guys from their guys. After a bit, I realized that the Trojans were the ones with the stupid hats, but I still hate this. Rather than being able to take a good bit of damage and find healing items around the map, your health bar refills with a gray bar as you do damage, and this gets converted back into health when you are in between combat. This leads you to running away from fights and standing still, hoping that you're far enough away from the action that it gives you your health back. This is super awkward. There are no skill trees, just equipable items that you fill out a grid with to improve stats, and you can transfer this between characters. I read that there's 22 chapters in the game, so maybe some of this gets improved, but if you turn me off this bad with a combination of 2 of my favorite things, I kinda think that this one is more on you than me. I picked this up because of how much fun I had with Age of Calamity and Pirate Warriors 4, but pretty much every other Warriors game I've ever played has been better. I would have been better off picking up one of the other ones I already had and, I don't know, grinding up some more levels, filling out more skill trees, replaying the story, really anything. Why did they do this? Oh, right, because they didn't know what weebs were. I get the sneaking suspicion that this game will continue to haunt my mind, me constantly telling myself that it wasn't that bad, reminding myself that it was, and resisting the urge to give it just one more shot. Maybe I'll try and knock it out if I manage to clear the rest of my games, but I also got around to picking up one of the RPGs I was playing this week, Pokémon Colosseum. Originally, I thought about just saying it was an RPG and to look forward to it, but, I don't think I have enough of a following to try and entice people back with vague words. So yeah, Pokémon Colosseum. It's not perfect, and it's definitely different than pretty much every other Pokemon game I've ever played, but it works in its favor in a lot of ways, and I'm really enjoying myself. Honestly, the biggest point against this game is that it was released for the GameCube, and only the GameCube. So you're gonna be hard pressed to actually find a copy if you decide you want to pick it up. At least, unless you go for more dubious methods, if you know what I mean. I don't know. Kinda wish that they would put this out on a normal format again. Or should I say a more modern one? But regardless, I played it. I'm only a few hours off, I think, from just beating it. I'd want to beat the main story, and then there's a series of, challenges? A series of battles you can knock through. So yeah, once I get those done, I will be making a review here. So if you're interested, look forward to it. So that's one little booger off the list, flicked away like the unwanted piece of trash that it was, and one game almost done. I'm looking forward to actually getting one of these frickin' RPGs off the list, cause those are gonna be the hurdles. Happy Easter, by the way. My goodness, this week at work was kinda rough, which is probably why I didn't quite finish the game I was working on. Although I did get some reading done. A book called Population 1 that my mother wanted, so I ordered it in for her, and since it seemed like a light read, and since I figured she'd want to talk about it, I slammed through it as well. Don't think I have a lot to say about that. I'm not really sure how I should feel. But regardless, I did finish it. And the one script that I was waiting on, I did get done. Hopefully, once the new PC arrives, I will be able to crank out that video. But no promises, because I'm not sure that the current PC would be able to handle a video of this magnitude. So hey, thanks for watching. I know this week was a little shorter, but if everything works out, next week should be a chunky boy. And I'll see you then. If you're interested in this sort of thing, maybe consider subscribing. Regardless, later.